it's one thing to push and challenge a lead held by somebody else. It's a completely different ball game to hang on to a lead when it's yours, especially when you haven't been there before. And that's what Paul Hamm is experiencing right now. He has the lead in the USA Gymnastics Championships, and he's got just a couple of rotations to go, a couple of events in which to exercise that lead right now on the high bar.
And typically a great event for Paul, but he was concerned having trouble this week in practice on this event and trouble after the first night of competition.
Does just a boatload of those major releases. First one comes right here. This is a Kovacs with a full twist. Very nice. Now watch all of these in a row. Perfect. Whoa, that was far. Yikes. He just barely got his hands on the bar. That makes it look a lot nicer, a lot more exciting, but it makes you nervous.
Impressive.
All right, look at these guys in these uniforms, and I feel like I want to say, fill her up, and he did fill it up.
Well, I'll tell you what they can fill up on. This group has the potential to be the strongest men's team. I would say that there are three athletes, Paul Hamm, Blaine Wilson, and Shawn Townsend, who right now, on a good day, are in the top 5 in the world in the all-around. They are tremendous. They do the difficulty like this skill right there. That is just ridiculous how much goes on.
9.625, a big score on the high bar for Paul Hamm.
That's too hard. 9.625. And that was remarkable. That's just not right.
Well, you can hear the grumbling in the background. That's why
Audience loves the high-flying release skills.
to me it's an awful lot like figure skating, in that the hardcore audience doesn't actually understand the difficulty in the scoring and the judging.
Well, yeah, and he does lack a couple of things, but it's a beautiful exercise. He does it well. 2 in a row from Morgan. Once again, I'm so surprised at how good he looks at this competition.
Actually, when you see him up close to him, you can visually see the difference in the size of his shoulders. He's still mending.
Step on the landing, but I had a similar injury, a nerve injury, and things that you could do in the past that were so easy for you, you just can't make your arms do it. It's so frustrating.
It's like reteaching your body.
It is, exactly. And I remember my strength, it got a little bit worse every day, and eventually I couldn't do things that I could do when I was 8 years old. It really hard.
Morgan Hamm gets an 8.875, but in this rotation, clearly what Paul Hamm did on the high bar screams out that he is right now the national champion. Unless something ridiculous happens, he has a lead over Blaine Wilson, and then guard Young, Shawn Townsend, and Morgan Hamm still have something to say about who takes the bronze. Sometimes in a competition like this, it's difficult to tell who the best is, who's going to pull it out. And then sometimes, as it is in 2002, it's easy to tell who #1 is. Some competitions are dramatic, right down to the wire sort of things. Not this USA Gymnastics Championship. It has merely been a confirmation of where Blaine Wilson and Paul Hamm stand in their gymnastics world. Blaine clearly has the stuff that great champions are made of, and his body is betraying him a little bit right now. Paul Hamm has taken full advantage of his health and his ability. And now you have a battle for bronze, and you have a battle for the status that comes with that in a championship such as this. Here's guard Young.
Then Mr. Consistent today.
Boy, guys, he has really had a great day in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, he snuck right in there. You know, this is the type of guy you want on your team. Quiet, consistent, just does his job for the team.
It's a new vault for guard, and he does it very well. Almost a stick, just that small step, but gonna be a good score.
Good job, man. Give me.
So Guard Young gets a 9.35. Yes, he has been very, very consistent here today. And as we mentioned earlier, sometimes you learn more about a champion, the true heart of a champion, of an athlete, when you see them deal with overcoming adversity, and you see them deal with everything not being totally right, and you see them deal with not being the champion on that one day. That's the case with Blaine today.
Beautiful first tumbling pass. That's one of those new 5/10 passes. And that was odd, because it looked pretty good. He just lost a little bit of rotation in the air. And he's very tired at this point. For Blaine not to be able to hold a planche like that. At this point, if you're Blaine's coach, Miles Avery, you're going, okay, Blaine, just be careful right here, especially.
This was the final pass that he put his hands down after the first night of competition, but what was so impressive is that he had upgraded it big time. But here, just simple double twist.
And that's a good choice, because he's a little beat up, a little tired, and it'll be his time again. Don't count this guy out.
And I would think he does not even care what his score is going to be. He simply cares what's going to happen for he and his wife Makari in the next couple of months. And we wish them nothing but the best. And now what amounts to coronation time. This is Paul, right?
This is Paul, and 65 seconds of gymnastics, and he gets to realize a dream.
Something that's been his desire. He said he was totally ready to win a title this year.
And as a matter of record, Blaine Wilson wraps it up with an 8.575. And look at those scores of Paul Hamm. Look how consistently solid they are, as high as a 9.85.
He was a 9.9 in the first night on this event. Just an awesome exercise.
Double twisting double in the stretched position. Very, very hard, and probably that will cost him 0.2 of a point on that landing. Once again, it's all about details. If you want to be the best in the world, you got to pay attention to them. You see a body line like that. Good rhythm throughout the exercise. Super hard difficulty.
And you know, he and his brother, along with their coach, Stacy Maloney, have studied hundreds of tapes. They have studied those techniques of some of the best gymnasts in the world.
Not the best exercise from Paul, but certainly good enough. One more trick.
Elfie, I've studied them too, and I still can't do that. There's your national champion, Paul Hamm, with a double high five from his brother.
Congratulations, Paul. Great job.
And respect from everyone at Gund Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. So 3 straight years we've had a different national champion. Blaine Wilson 2 years ago, Shawn Townsend, and now Paul Hamm.